Hi guys, so today we're talking sports coaching South Africa and we're doing a short video blog for you today all about Hamza's experience recently in Port Elizabeth. Great, so Hamza, you arrived in Port Elizabeth when you got to South Africa. Tell us a little bit more about what the place is like.
Yeah, Port Elizabeth was incredible. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, having not been there before. But the people were so amazing. They were so welcoming, so friendly. The climate there was so nice. Really, really hot, really sunny. Food there was probably my favourite. There's always so much to eat, and also it was pretty cheap as well. But the whole culture, they always danced. Everyone was singing. It was just such a really cool and really funny atmosphere out there.
Great. Sounds great. Port Elizabeth sounds like the place to be. So tell us a little bit more about the kind of process that you went through with BUNAC and from the point of leaving to the point of your arrival.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had Nicole from BUNAC, who is my main point of contact, and really from the point booked on, she gave me a call. We had a nice discussion about what I'll be doing out there, what to expect, and what to bring with me. So she was really, really supportive. But even during my experience there, when I was in Port Elizabeth, they were still in touch with me, just checking in to see how everything was going on, if there were any problems or not. And then even when I returned back to the UK, they even checked in, just get some more information about my experience. So they were really, really supportive and just always on hand during the whole time.
Hamza, sports coach in South Africa is all about bringing people together through the power of sport. So tell me a little bit more about a typical day for you when you were on the programme.
Yeah, certainly. So a typical day would be getting up at around about, say, 9:30 in the morning. A lot of the volunteers and I, we used to go for a jog around the actual residential area because the weather was so nice, and we thought, it would be good to go for a little run, come back, have breakfast, and then we'd all leave together from the hostel. We'd all travel by minibus, and we'll then go to our first school, do our first session for about an hour and a half, in our own groups of our own sports. And then simply on the way to the second school, we'll then have our lunch in the minibus, again all together, do our next session at the second school, and then after that then going on to the third school. And then we'd usually come back to the hostel by around about 4:30, so it's still nice and early, so we'd have so much time in the afternoons and the evenings to do whatever we wanted to do. So a lot of us would either go to the beach, or we go to the nearest mall, or even go to the cinema, or sometimes just chill out in the hostel and just play a bit of table tennis or pool, or to go for a swim. So that's pretty much a typical day.
So we know that you went out originally to teach hockey. What was kind of your teaching background within the sport, and was there any other opportunities when you were there to kind of take part in any other sports?
So in terms of my background, so I'd always played a lot of sport throughout college and throughout university, especially hockey and cricket and rugby. So that certainly helped, during my time out there. But when I was out there, it was, they were very flexible in terms of, they pretty much allowed you to coach whatever sport you wanted to do. So hockey was my main sport, but I was definitely able to coach other sports. I did a little bit of tennis and cricket as well. So a lot of people ended up getting a taster of coaching, all the sports out there. So which was really, really great and really, really helpful.
So Hamza, tell us about your highlight of the trip.
The highlight, I think this would be hard to pick one. I'd say the best aspect of the whole program was just the whole element of socialising with everyone in the hostel. I think one of the main risks and worries you have, before going out there, especially to a place we haven't been before, is not knowing what the people are going to be like, the other volunteers, the coaches themselves, and so on. But when I arrived, even from the point I landed, I'd already bumped into the other volunteers from the UK, and just in the hostel itself, we had a really nice group of people from around the world. We had those from North and South America. We had volunteers from across Europe, as well as also from Australia and New Zealand. So there was a really, really good bunch of people there, which really made it a lot more fun. And we were always together. We'd always coach together. We'd always eat together, go out together in our free time on the weekends. So you always I think you'd always felt as if you're part of a group, and that you were never alone. So it definitely made the whole experience a lot smoother and just more comfortable, which is what at the end of the day it's pretty good.
So Hamza, there's going to be loads of people who are thinking about going out and doing a sports coaching program for themselves. What would you say to these people now?
You should definitely go for it. I mean, it's an incredible experience. It really helps with building your own CV. having that international experience on there. For me personally, it really made me stand out of the crowd in terms of having more job interviews, and they always picked up on that, my experience in South Africa, so I could always relate to it. I made so many new friends, so you get to meet loads of new people, most of which I still meet up, on a regular basis. In fact, last week we had a reunion on a boat, which was really, really cool. And just the fact that you get to do something completely different, instead of going to a beach or going somewhere really hot, having that one experience of actual coaching and teaching kids, it's just something really different, something that you could always look back onto.
Brilliant. It sounds like a really rewarding experience and one that anyone should kind of
Definitely
take part in. So thanks for coming and sharing that with us.
No problem. Thank you.